Hello everyone, thanks for the time that given to us. We are from Group 10. In this previous occasions, we would like to present about language and gender theories by Deborah Tannen, 1990. First of all, we want to introduce ourselves. These are the members of Group 10. The first one is Dian Asyuni Pranika. Her student number registration is 191-202-1171 as the first speakers for the material, and the second speakers is Desita Ahadia Winarti. Student number registration is 191-202-1176, and the third speaker is Dewa Ayu Dwi Partyastini. Number registration is 191-202-1186. The first speaker will be presented the material. Time is yours.
The first material is language and gender theories. Is there a difference in how women and men use language? The big question in linguistics, does being female or male affect a person's language, or is it merely the attitude toward people's gender that make us think there is difference? Studies of language and gender often make use of two models or paradigms, that of dominance and that of difference. Dominance and difference. The dominance approach process that men are naturally more dominant than women. This could be through speech patterns or behavior towards or around women. This theory also starts the woman act in a less dominant way around men, meaning it's not only men who take part in asserting their dominance, women also. The different approach, that idea that male and female individuals' lifestyles are often presented as being different. Simply put, in communication and other interaction, men are fundamentally different from women in their modes of communication. Thus, they use language for different outcomes. Language and gender theories by Deborah Tannen. According to Deborah Tannen, men and women have different, such as men concerned with status tend to focus more on independence, and women often think in terms of closeness and support and struggle to perceive intimacy. Okay, the next material will be presented by my friend.
Okay, thanks for the time that given to me. I'm as the second speaker. I will continue the explanations of this material. Based on the books in You Just Don't Understand, Men and Women in Conversations, Deborah Tannen believes the difference between how women and men talk and communicate starts in childhood, where parents use more words about feelings to girls and use more verb to boys. Men and women belong to different subcultures and therefore speak differently. Tannen takes a sociolinguistic approach to these gender differences since she feels that because boys and girls grow up in what are essentially different cultures, talk between women and men is cross-cultural communication. Deborah Tannen researched about the conversational styles of women and men. She has emphasized the existence of two major types of conversational style. They shape the communicative behavior of individual speakers, which is a high involvement style, and the opposite is high considerateness style. This style can reflect the general linguistic behavior of women and men in conversation. While women are said to prefer high involvement style, and men might prefer a high considerateness style. And then about cooperative overlapping. Cooperative overlapping occurs when the listener start talking along with the speakers, not to cut them off, but rather to validate or show they're engaged in what the other person is saying. Tannen claims some people, not just women, practice cooperative overlapping in speech, while others refuse to participate until given specific time to speak. Overlapping is a way to keep conversation going without risking silence. An overlap can be defined as two conversants speaking simultaneously during their conversation. For Tannen, some overlaps are considered cooperative because usually they will include just a few words of encouragement or elaboration on the topic and not a full sentence about a different subject. Okay, the next slide about the difference of speech style. Tannen believes that women and men have a different style of speaking, which she defines as record talk and report talk. Women in conversation today use language for intimacy, hence Tannen's term rapport talk. In this case, women in the current conversation use language to express intimacy. Those are socialized as children, believing that talk is the glue that holds relationships together. So adult woman talk is an intimate negotiation in which people try to seek and provide confirmations and support and to reach consensus. For men, conversation today asks for information. Thus, report talk. Men negotiate to maintain the edge of the conversations and protect themselves from others who try to put them down. Boys learn to maintain relationships primarily through their activities during childhood, so adult men conversations becomes a context. The next slide will be continued by my friends. Time is yours.
Okay, next by me. Please, next slide. I will next the material about 6 main differences between the ways male and female use language. Deborah Tannen find that there are gender differences in ways of speaking, and we need to identify and understand them. She said there are 6 main differences between the ways male and female use language. Number 1, status and versus support. Men grow up in a world in which conversation is competitive. They seek to achieve the upper hand or to prevent others from dominating them. For women, whoever talking is often a way to gain confirmation and support for their ideas. And men see the world as a place where people try to gain status and keep it. Women see world as a network of connection, seeking support and consensus. Number 2, independence versus intimacy. Women often think in terms of closeness and support and struggle to perceive intimacy. Men concerned with status tend to focus more on independence, and this trait can lead women and men to starkly different views or the same situation. Professor Tannen gives the example of a woman who would check with her husband before inviting a guest to stay, because she liked telling friends that she has to check with him. Then men, meanwhile, invite a friend without asking his wife first, because to tell their friends, he must check most to loss of status. Next, number 3, advice versus understanding. Deborah Tannen finds that too many men complain is challenging to find a solution. For example, when a wife tells her husband that she doesn't feel well, her husband will invariably offer to take her to a doctor. Men are likely giving advice rather than giving sympathy to show his understanding. Invariably, the woman is disappointed with his reaction. Like many men, he is focused on what he can do, whereas woman what sympathy. Next, number 4, information versus feeling. For male are concerned with the fact, while women with emotion. The next, number 5, are the versus proposal. Women often suggest that people do things in direct ways. Why don't we, or would it be good if we? And men may use and prefer to hear direct imperative. And last, conflict versus compromise. In trying to prevent fight, writer Professor Tannen, some women refuse to oppose the will of others openly, but sometimes it's far more effective for a woman to assert herself, even at the risk of conflict. This situation is easily observed in work situation where a management dedication seems unattractive. Men will often perceive it vocally, while women may appear to chide but complain subsequently. Please, next slide. Deborah Tannen distinction of information and feeling is also described as report talk of men and report talk of women. And in this slide, the differences can be summarized in a table. For women, talk too much, speak in private context, build relation, overlap, and speak symmetrically. And while men get more airtime, speak in public, negotiate status or avoid failure, and speak one at a time, and the last speak asymmetrically. I think that's all about the topic language and gender by Deborah Tannen 1990 from Group 10. Thank you.